So this is the one you're going to be looking at, okay? And what you should all have done so far, and nothing more, is to do a tracing of your drawing. Before one or two of you came on, I did mention that I had put in the line to indicate where the halfway point is horizontally, and a line to indicate either side where the horizontal half cut is on the whole portrait, okay? I haven't put any axes in. All I've done is do an outline drawing of it. And I'm going to take my black and white copy out so you can see my tracing. That's all I've got. A simple outline. I haven't put very much detail in. Okay, I've just drawn the main shape. So it's the outside of his shoulders. I've indicated the bow tie and a bit of his jacket. But the main thing is that I've got the outline and shape of his head. And the other thing I did think was important is to do the edge of the nose and a few lines to indicate the mouth and the chin. So if you've done all that, that's all I want you to do. And then I want you to take your tracing off and have it on one side. You can put it over a piece of white paper so you can see it. So you've got it by you. And then what I'm going to do with you, I'll do it and you can watch me if you wish. I'm going to draw direct onto this piece of paper exactly what I've got on my tracing. Okay? I'm not going to do anything more than that at the minute. So if it helps you on your main piece of paper, go out a bit so you can see. But if it does help you on this main piece of paper, I'm very happy for you to mark in the halfway lock points there as well. That's the only bit of measuring or what have you that I want you to do. So you can measure where the halfway point is there, and then you can draw a line, just like I've got on my tracing, exactly the same. And you can do the same on this long side. Again, just draw a line in to show that. Okay. So the next step is to literally, line by line, copy this onto here, but you're going to do it by eye. So this is to train yourself, really, to judge proportion and shape. So forget about, if you want to turn the portrait upside down, so you're just looking at lines, you can do that. I don't mind. Sometimes it's very helpful to do that. Turn the portrait upside down and then just work with the lines, you know, in the same way. So I might start by saying to myself, okay, his head, the start of his head is about here, and I draw a line to indicate that first line across from there to there. Okay, and you stop thinking about how, you know, making it too close to the original. Well, you want to make it close to the original, but you're just looking at a series of marks and series of lines on the piece of paper, and you'll be surprised by the time you get to the end how close it can be to the original if you're being obedient to what you see and you don't change it. All right, so you've got to judge the length of each little piece of line. Okay.
Oh God, it's too hard.
Pardon?
You weren't supposed to hear that.
I did hear it. You did hear it. Now, it's not too hard, and I want you to just have a go. It's all too easy to, you know, you name things, you think that's a head, that's a shoulder, that's a nose, that's a mouth, but then you stop looking. So what I'm asking you to do is to look very carefully at the length of the line from, you know, on my tracing, it's from here to here. That's the first thing I've got to do. I can even check it with my pencil and say, okay, I've drawn that accurately. Okay? And then I look at the next little bit, which is so the line goes back and curves round here. Has anybody got a problem with what I'm asking you to do? Please say, apart from Chris. Everybody's quiet, okay?
Well, I'm afraid I got ahead of myself.
Well,
so the best I can do is to try and copy it upside down from the actual photocopy.
yes, good idea.
Oh,
Won't your picture be reversed? Or
No, I'm just literally copying exactly what I've got on here onto here.
upside down?
Upside down. This is upside down. This is upside down. So I'm no longer looking at a portrait. I'm just looking at a series of marks on a piece of paper.
Okay.
I don't get it.
Pardon, Chris?
I don't get it, Lovey. Sorry.
Right. Turn your picture of your ballerina upside down.
What, the tracing?
Yes. Do exactly what I've done.
The tracing or the picture?
The tracing.
Oh, right. Sorry, everybody. It's being a bit slick.
Put your picture away. You don't need your picture at the moment. All you need is your tracing.
I got that.
Right. Now, turn it upside down and just copy it line by line. Go very slowly. Don't rush it. And just copy each little line and look at it. You know, say to yourself, okay, there's one line. And it stops and then it changes direction at the bottom.
From the tracing onto the paper.
Yes. Okay, stop wherever you're at. Okay, stop.
Mhm.
Now turn your paper and your tracing up the right way. Okay. If you've got, well, mine's got attached to the piece of white paper. But what I'm going to do now is to lay the tracing over what I've drawn so far. And I'd like you to do the same. So there's what I've drawn so far, not very much. This is my tracing. And I'm now going to see how accurately or not otherwise I've done it. Now I've enlarged mine slightly, but it's not bad. The shape isn't bad. If I go to there, probably I've come out a bit too much on it on the right hand side. Check your tracing against what you've drawn. And I want you to tell me how, honestly, just be honest, how accurate is what you've drawn from those few lines, really. I mean, there's not very much there. How accurate is your copy of your tracing?
Fairly accurate.
Fairly accurate. Well done, Jill. That's excellent. How about you, Prue?
Well, I didn't do that. I'm sorry. I had already blacked out the back of the tracing because I thought it was that kind of thing. I'm sorry.
Didn't read my email. Okay, Sue, how about you?
Reasonably accurate. There are bits that aren't.
Yes, fair enough. What about you, Shelley?
Hang on. I'm with Prue on this one, so I am now measuring everything by eye.
I beg your pardon? So you've traced yours down as well, have you?
My tracing down paper was just basically carbon paper, and
Yeah, it's a completely different exercise, that. I mean, the reason I've asked you to do this is to make you look and see how accurately you perceive things. You know, it's a different exercise.
well, I do have a tracing of it, but it's on white paper, so I can't lay it over the other one. But the answer is not altogether accurate.
Okay. Chris,
Yes.
how accurate was your copying from the tracing to your white piece of paper?
All right.
Was it accurate?
Yeah, pretty much so.
Is that honest?
Yes.
Very good. If it was accurate, yes, very good. You're not tracing down, are you?
No, I'm not chasing down.
You're doing exactly what I've asked you to do.
I hope so.
Good. I'm delighted to hear it. You haven't drawn any grids in or anything like that?
No, I haven't.
Well done, Chris. You go to the top of the class with Jill, okay? Okay, so I'd like you to turn your board back the way you had it, upside down. And I'd like you to carry on until you've got the rest of that image that you've got on your tracing paper on your white piece of paper. If you want to correct things, just put your tracing back over the top, even with it being upside down, and look at it and say to yourself, okay, that's too wide, so I've got to bring it all in. okay? Or whatever, change whatever is not accurate. I'm going to change the whole of this right side because it's too big and too wide.